a few questions came in about how to add thickness to walls. So if you basically have a solid, this is obviously a very oversimplified version of some of the models that you guys may have. So if you have a full sort of solid model that you're already working on, there are a couple of ways to add thickness. Honestly, the best way to do it is probably going to be to start from a plan and then start extruding or drawing surfaces off of that. But if you already have a solid and it's fairly simple, we can work on it in a couple of different ways. So the first thing we're going to do is we can look at what offset surface is going to do. So we can take this surface and let's say that we want to offset it by let's say 6 inches. So if we look at this poly surface, it's going to offset all of these out. If we want to do flip all, it'll offset all of them inside. So if we do that, we look at that, and now we actually have, if we were to slice this in half, so if we take a cut that goes through the middle, we would basically have something that looks like that. So the difficult part about this is if you want your walls and your floors to have different thicknesses. So what we're going to look at is doing those two in two separate operations. So what we can do here is we can do an explode, and then if we go into one of our side views, we can just drag a window over all of this. Is going to basically give us our wrapper. So this would register as all of our walls, so I'm just going to change the color of that so that we can see that. And then we would have our ceiling and our floor underneath. Our floor there. So the first thing that we can do is we can either do an offset surface here, and then we can flip it, and then let's go in, so we'll go in 6 inches. And then we'll hit enter. So what that's going to do is it's going to make us a solid that looks like this. So then from there, what we're going to want to do is we can run an offset surface. Actually, before we do that, another method to do this is going to be extrude surface. So we technically could add thickness this way, so we can go in and we could extrude these. I would recommend doing it with the offset surface if you can. Then we're going to do this, so we'll do an offset surface here. We'll flip this to go down. Let's say we want our roof to be 12 inches and we want our floor, so we're going to do F and that'll flip. And let's say we want that to be 8 inches, and then we'll hit enter. So now you can see that we're obviously overlapping here, so I'm going to take this object that we have out here and I'm going to do a scale 1D. And the first thing I'm going to do is drag from the bottom to the top, and I'll align there. And then drag from the top to the bottom, and then we'll align there. And then if we do a Boolean union on this, what we're going to end up with is a full solid. So we have the roof dimension here, the floor dimension here, and then all of the wall thicknesses. Obviously your models will be a bit more complicated, so you may have to pick and choose which directions you're offsetting things, but this is a sort of basic model that you can follow to add thickness to some of your models.